Hey everyone, Alec here from WatchPost Security. Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest shifts in cybersecurity, Zero Trust Network Access, or ZTNA. And more importantly, we're going to connect the dots and show you how this technology can make your next ISO 27001 audit a whole lot smoother. All right, let's get into it.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll talk about why the old way of doing security, the whole castle and moat thing, is completely falling apart. Then, we'll get into the modern tools that are taking its place. I'm going to give you a really practical 5-step blueprint to get started. After that, we'll see how all this work makes ISO 27001 compliance way easier. And then we'll wrap it all up. Sound good? Let's go. You know, for decades, we've secured our company networks like they were medieval castles. We built this massive perimeter, a digital moat and high walls to keep the bad guys out. But that entire model, it's fundamentally broken now. And why is that? Well, it's because the perimeter, it doesn't even exist anymore. And this right here, this is exactly why that perimeter has just vanished. A staggering 90% of our workforce now prefers to work remote or in a hybrid model. Now, this isn't some passing trend, right? This is the new reality. Your users, your most critical data, your applications, they're not tucked safely inside the office walls anymore. They are literally everywhere. And our security strategy has to adapt, or it's going to fail.
So here's the bottom line. Simply trying to keep attackers out while letting our users in has become a losing battle. The moment a hacker gets inside, and it could be from just one phishing email that an employee clicks by accident, they have free rein to move all around your internal network. We call this lateral movement, and it's exactly how a small, tiny breach explodes into a catastrophic data theft.
So, if the old way has failed us, what's the answer? Well, it's a complete paradigm shift in our thinking. It's called Zero Trust, and the core idea is incredibly simple but so powerful. Never trust, always verify. You just assume a breach is possible, maybe has even happened, and you grant access based on strict, continuous verification, not on where someone is logging in from. ZTNA is the technology that actually puts that never trust, always verify idea into action. Think of it like a hyper-vigilant personal security guard for every single one of your applications. Instead of just letting a user onto the network where they can kind of wander around, ZTNA creates a secure one-to-one tunnel directly from a verified user on a trusted device straight to the one application they need. Nothing more, nothing less.
Now, a key partner in the ZTNA world is the Secure Web Gateway, or SWG. Think of an SWG as your security guard for the entire internet. It's a cloud service that inspects all the web traffic coming and going, protecting your users from malware, from phishing sites, and all sorts of other nasty stuff online. And it does it no matter where they're connecting from, the office, home, or a coffee shop.
And this is where things get really powerful. ZTNA can integrate directly with data loss prevention, DLP tools. This means we're not just controlling who gets in, we're now controlling what goes out. So let's say an authorized employee tries to download a sensitive client list to their personal laptop, or maybe they try to upload some secret financial data to an unapproved cloud drive. ZTNA sees it happening in real time and just blocks the action, instantly. It protects your data from both hackers and, honestly, from accidental leaks.
Let's really hammer this point home, the difference here. A traditional VPN, it's like giving a user the keys to the entire castle as soon as they log in. ZTNA, on the other hand, it's like giving them a key to one specific room for one specific task, and that key literally expires the second they leave the room. ZTNA cloaks your applications, making them completely invisible to the public internet. This just massively reduces your attack surface. Okay, so the theory is great, right? But how do you actually put this into practice without turning your whole IT department upside down? I know it can seem like a huge task, but it really doesn't have to be. Here is a clear 5-step blueprint for a successful ZTNA rollout.
Following this blueprint is your path to success. Okay, step 1, identity. People, this is your foundation. You need one single source of truth for who your users are, like Azure AD, and you absolutely must enforce multi-factor authentication. If you don't know who's asking for access, nothing else matters. Step 2, devices. You've got to know what's connecting to your data. Is it a secure company laptop or is it an employee's personal phone? The access rules have to be different. Step 3, scenarios. Please don't try to boil the ocean here. Start small. Pick one important application, prove the value, and work out any kinks. Step 4, the solution. Go with the cloud-based ZTNA platform that plays nicely with the security tools you already have. And finally, Step 5, migrate and cloak. You move one app at a time over to ZTNA, and once it's protected, you cloak it. You make it completely invisible to the old network.
Now, when you get to that fourth step, selecting a solution, a really practical question always comes up. What does it actually take to get this thing running? So let's use the Symantec ZTNA service from Broadcom as an example and look at the licensing. And the good news is Broadcom's made this really straightforward. The main ZTNA license pretty much covers all your bases. That includes agent-based access, that's where you have a little piece of software on your company-managed devices, and agent-less access, which is perfect for contractors or personal devices, where they just access things through a web browser with nothing to install. And if you want some really advanced stuff, like web isolation, which opens risky websites in a secure container in the cloud, that's just a simple add-on. Okay, let's pivot to one of the biggest payoffs of this entire approach, making your life so much easier when it comes to compliance. Specifically, let's dig into how ZTNA maps directly to the requirements of the big one, the ISO 27001 standard.
If you're a manager and you've ever had to prepare for an ISO audit, you know that feeling. That stress of trying to prove your security controls are actually working. Well, ZTNA completely changes the conversation by giving you concrete, bulletproof, auditable evidence for some of the toughest controls out there.
This table right here, this is your cheat sheet for your next audit. Let's just walk through it. For access control, an auditor wants to see least privilege. Well, with ZTNA, you can say it is least privilege by default. For logging, they need proof. ZTNA audits every single request, giving you a perfect, undeniable log. For network security, they're looking for open doors and vulnerabilities. While ZTNA's cloaking means there are literally no open doors for them or an attacker to even scan. And for your suppliers and contractors, you can finally give them secure access without handing over the keys to the kingdom. You can even block them from downloading sensitive files to their personal laptops. This is an absolute game changer for compliance.
I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the power of this entire model. You are literally creating a new perimeter that's defined by software and identity, not by a physical office building. Your most important applications, they just become invisible. That fundamentally transforms both your security and your compliance posture.
So how do we tie all this together? The old perimeter might be gone, but that doesn't mean we're left defenseless. By embracing a zero-trust mindset, by implementing ZTNA, we're not just adding another security tool to the pile. We are fundamentally changing our entire approach.
We're creating a new software-defined perimeter that wraps tightly around our most critical applications and our most sensitive data. You can think of it like a lighthouse in a storm. It's this constant, reliable beacon that cuts right through the fog of all these modern threats.
It guides every single access request safely to its destination, making sure your organization stays off the rocks of a data breach or a failed audit. That's really what it means to be a beacon in the breach.
Look, I know this shift can seem complex, but the outcome is clarity and its strength. It's about taking back control, it's about simplifying your security, and anchoring your defenses on the two things that truly matter, your identity and your data.
And that's the real power of zero trust. It dramatically improves your security posture, yes, but it also gives you that concrete, auditable proof that you need to streamline compliance. It really does illuminate a clear path forward. Ultimately, this is all about being proactive, not reactive. At WatchPost Security, our entire goal is to be your partner on this journey, to help you navigate this transition so that you can stand watch and stay secure.
Thank you so much for your time today. If you're ready to start your zero trust journey, or you just have more questions, here's how you can get in touch with us. We actually hold open Zoom office hours every morning, and we genuinely love to connect with you. Thanks again, and stay safe out there.